everyone. Happy Monday. It's your girl, Janelle Villiers. I am back here, your host of the Janelle Villiers podcast. I'm happy to be with you all. I'm excited to talk to you about today's topic. But if this is your first time here, go ahead and put a 1 in the comments. I love to shout out all of my first timers. If you're here, I just want to say a big welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Here on the Janelle Villiers podcast, we talk about books and tips for how to write your book, how to edit, publish, and market your book. I interview authors so you can hear their journey and how they became an author. And then sometimes I even interview people who haven't even published a book yet, but their story is worth sharing. And so I love to use my platform to uplift theirs. And most recently, I have started to talk a little bit more about AI. So for those of you who don't know, I have recently become a certified AI consultant, and I'm excited to add that to be able to service my clients better, to help others better. We know that AI is not going away. And so I wanted to get ahead of things and to be able to confidently be able to help my clients in a way and help others just even understand how AI could potentially help them where they are in their careers. If they have a job, I can certainly help there, but I can also help entrepreneurs as well. And so this is really important for me. And I am really excited to be able to bring that to all of you. So today we're actually going to be talking a little bit more about AI more specifically. So for those of you who are new to this realm of me talking about this, welcome. I'm excited for today's topic. So let's bring that out. Today we're going to be talking about how to build an AI-enabled consulting business without losing your voice. This is huge. This is really, really huge. And I think it's really important that we focus on this because we talked about it last time in regards to your own book. And if you are a coach or an expert in any realm, I know a lot of us are using AI, but I think a lot of us may be using it and also losing our voice at the same time. And I want to make sure that we understand that you don't want to do that, okay? You want to hold on to your voice. And I have some notes for us to go through so that way I make sure that I don't want to miss a thing. So I got all my notes. Okay, so obviously there is a clear shift happening right now. More consultants are using AI to write and to think, produce, respond, almost all of it, right? And so I think what happens is that this looks really efficient on the surface, right? This looks like, oh, they're getting things done. People feel good about this, but something else is happening underneath all that. And I think we need to talk about it. What's happening is that voices are starting to sound the same. Are you guys noticing this? Comment same if you're noticing this as well. A lot of times I feel like the language is becoming flatter because ideas are becoming less distinct. It just sounds like the same people talking all over the place. And so someone's perspective or the way that they think is becoming harder to identify. And this is a really subtle shift, but I want you to know that you can still sound smart, you can still sound clear, and at the same time, no longer sound like yourself. And this is where I want to change some of that, because when that happens, your authority weakens, and not in a very bold way, but it kind of does it quietly. There's this quiet weakening of your authority, and how you're different kind of fades, and your work becomes easier to replace. And that's certainly not what you want to do, right? So I want to be very clear. The risk is not that AI is going to replace you. Let me be very clear. It's that the risk is that it's going to blend you in. You're basically going to blend in with everyone else. So a lot of times the advice or the focus is on output, right? It's like, how quickly can you get things out? And so you may hear things like, oh, AI will help you create faster, to help you post more. You can automate your workflow. You can repurpose everything. And that sounds super productive, but it's incomplete in the messaging because it can ignore a really critical question, which is, what exactly are you scaling? Yeah, think about that. And if your thinking is not clearly defined, then AI speeds up confusion, right? It's going to speed up the fact that you keep producing generic ideas, and it's going to train your audience to see you as honestly interchangeable with like everyone else, every other voice out there. And this is really important for high level consultants. Being interchangeable is super dangerous because your value is tied to how you think, how you diagnose things, how you frame problems. AI can't define that for you, right? What it does is only extends what you're currently doing. So I want us to focus on a better way to approach this. And that is that AI is a support system, not necessarily your source for thinking. So the way in which you go about this really matters. So first you need to define your thinking. How are you thinking? What are your thoughts? What are your questions? What's your opinion about certain things, right? And then structure your intellectual property is the second step. The third step is then you use AI to extend whatever your thoughts are. So I want to slow that down just a little bit. Define your thinking. What is that? So I want you to think about, what problem do you solve? How do you see it differently? What is your framework to go about solving whatever the problem is? And then structure your thinking patterns around this. So document your models, name the stages or the steps that people have to take in order to solve the problem, and then clarify your language. And then after you do all of that, that's when then you can use AI to consistently support your message and to apply your thinking across different contexts to see if your model works around different contexts. You can also use AI to expand your reach without losing your clarity. So now you have AI working for you. It's not replacing you. Okay, so the other thing that I think we need to think about is, so sorry, let me slow that down, is if that's helpful, please put an H in the comment section if you found that to be helpful, slowing down that process a little, thinking about what it is that you can do, how you solve problems. Let me know in the comments. All right. I think we need to recognize the fact that high-level buyers are not looking for more content. They're actually looking for clarity, consistency, and confidence. We'll call those the 3 C's: clarity, consistency, and confidence. So when your thinking is structured, your message says that, hey, I'm consistent across all the different platforms. And then your frameworks are then repeated in a very clear way, right? So then people can really obviously identify what your frameworks are, and your language becomes very recognizable. And so AI helps maintain that consistency. So for example, you can take one framework or a set of steps to take to solve a problem, and then apply it to multiple industries, and then adapt it across formats. So whether that's social media or a blog post or an email or what have you. But the core stays the same. And that's what builds the trust, because repetition signals clarity, right? Because, oh, she's saying the same thing over and over, or he's saying the same thing over and over again. This must be exactly what they're saying. I get it now, right? It's clear. And, oh, this person knows what they're saying because I get exactly what they're talking about, right? So there's clarity there. And then with the clarity comes the authority that you now have. So instead of sounding different every time, you sound steady, you sound precise, you sound reliable. People are super looking for that, right? And that is what serious clients are responding to. And I just want to put in there, you guys know how I feel about books, that this is a critical place where books come in, right? Because a book forces you to structure those thoughts. And so when you write a book, you define your ideas clearly. You're going to organize your thinking. You're going to create a full system, right? Some steps or a framework. And then that system becomes your foundation. And then AI can pull from it. It can extend it. It can apply it. It can reinforce it. And so the book becomes a source of truth that people can always turn to. It can become a reference point, right? So they can always turn to it. And it's a foundation that your AI systems can also use. And so without that, essentially AI is going to pull from everywhere, and your voice becomes diluted, which is where we started, which is what you don't want, right? I mean, we started with that idea that your voice becomes diluted. You just kind of like fade into the background, and your authority becomes inconsistent, and with it, your voice. So you really want to know that, like, blending in is not where you want to be, right? You want people to recognize your thoughts, your strategies. They know that it's you. A book is a great way to do that. And with the book, your voice becomes sharper, your thinking becomes repeatable, and your authority becomes stronger. All right. So hopefully this is helpful. So again, put an H in the comments if this is helpful so far. I really want to make sure that people understand that. Like, AI is not here to replace you, but certainly you're going to blend into everybody else if you don't focus on what I just talked about, right? You really need to think clearly about what it is what is the problem that you solve? How do you solve it? What are the steps to take? What's the framework around it? And then could you take that to other industries? Could you take that to other contexts? And AI could certainly help you figure that out. And then you can extend it, you can expand it. And a book is a wonderful way to make sure that you get your thoughts and ideas out there more clearly. Hola. So yeah, all of this is really important. So again, if you found this helpful, go ahead and put an H in the comments so that I know. But as we bring this in for a landing, I just really want you guys to understand that AI is not going away. Clip that. It will become part of how businesses operate forever, from now until forever. So the real question is, what will it amplify for you? Clip that. If your thinking is clear, AI becomes leverage. If your thinking is not clear, it just becomes noise. And is that something that you really want? Clip that. So before you focus on tools, before you focus on prompts, before you even focus on speed, I want you to start here. Define your thinking, structure your intellectual property. So how you think, what are the steps, what's the framework? And then that's where you're going to then build your authority architecture. And then just use AI to extend it. That is how you scale without losing yourself. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. If you've enjoyed what we've put together today, I'm excited for you to come back same time next week. We're going to have a guest next week. I can't wait for you all to meet our guest. So stay tuned. Make sure that if you like this, the simple thing that you can do, it's free. You can subscribe to the channel. This just tells all the different platforms that this is helpful, this is useful, so it can share it with more people. And if you really thought this was helpful for someone, just go ahead and share it. Share it with that person that you think it would be really helpful for. Like I said, it's free, and it's a really cool way for you to help me spread the word. All right, everyone, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next week. Take care.